All right. All right. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to I'm gonna wait for the beat to drop, and I'm gonna wait for folks to come in because you gotta let it hit that vibration. Hey, on the same frequency. Let's go. Yo, everybody, welcome to the late afternoon show. It's your boy Tim Olari on this late afternoon. Even though it feels and looks like nighttime, we're going to still claim it as afternoon. It is afternoon somewhere. I think it's probably still afternoon in Hawaii. But for us out here, it's looking a lot like a late night show. Guys, I am super excited about this particular Thanksgiving episode, this Thanksgiving edition of the late afternoon show. I am particularly thankful for this tea that I'm sipping right here. You can't see it, but it's because it's in this patriotic mug. But we got that big black tea. For anybody that likes loose leaf black tea, I'm about to tell you how it is right now. This is literally going to be the first time that I'm tasting this big black tea from my boy Tim Salau, who made this tea. His company Guide, Mr. Future of Work, they put together this tea. He loves tea, and so he's like, yo, let me do a business that I love. So let's taste this Zen. This is the Zen one. This is the Zen one right here. Let's taste that. Woo! Come on, man. Tim, boy, you better stop with this. One more sip. One more sip. Ooh, that's hot. That is hot. You just brew it right there and it just hits you. I'm already feeling in a place of peace, in a place of Zen. So, guys, we're going to jump right in. Tim Murdoch. What's up, Tim Murdoch? Thank you for putting the link for Big Black Tea in the chat. Folks, we are on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We are on LinkedIn. And I want you guys to let me know where you guys are coming in from. So type in the chat where you are coming in from. Are you coming from Texas? Are you international? We got some Nigerians that sometimes show up on here. We got folks from London, from Tennessee, from Washington. Type in the chat where you are coming from, because I am grateful for you. I'm grateful for this opportunity to just hang out. It's a Tuesday evening. It's a Thanksgiving evening. And there's just so much to be grateful for, guys. We got a huge, huge show for you guys tonight with a very, very innovative CEO and founder, but I'm not going to get too much into his intro because I'm going to let him do that. I am going to, look, even today, guys, look, I'm trying to be like a real late night talk show person. So I got like these little cue cards. So I'm going to be like reading off of them and then toss them off to the side. So it makes me feel like I'm legit. Okay, let me do this. Let me feel Pittsburgh in the house, city of bridges. That's my man, Tim Murdoch. So yeah, Thanksgiving week, guys. And you always know Thanksgiving is like not just a season of, giving thanks and gratefulness, but it's also the season of awkward conversations, awkward family conversations. If you are from a family like mine, right? So immigrant families, Nigerian, whatever, the topic, if you're single, when are you getting married, right? If you're married, when are you having children, right? So these awkward conversations that you don't want to have, and 2020 has given us a robust list of things awkward to talk about. I mean, you can pick between pandemic or politics. What do you want to talk about? Pandemic or politics? Both of those things will cause some conversation. So I'm thinking I'm going to wait to talk about pandemic until dinner time. I feel like talking about viruses probably goes better with pumpkin pie. So I'm going to save that for dinner time. But it's really unfortunate, right? This Thanksgiving period, a lot of curfews going on, a lot of shutdowns and restrictions. Folks aren't able to travel as much as they want to. I know at least here in California, there is a partial lockdown, what they're calling a partial lockdown, where at a certain time you can't go out. Certain things are closed, certain things are not. And I really just kind of feel sorry for the governor, right? Because he's doing the best that he can to put out some rules and laws and things like that to keep people safe. And I don't feel like I know exactly what the governor is going through, but I do know how it feels to kind of make a rule and nobody's going to follow it and nobody's going to enforce it, right? That's like Thanksgiving, right? any diet that you say you're going to have, come Thanksgiving, comes Christmas, nobody's following that diet, and nobody's going to enforce that diet either. So Gavin Newsom, all the governors out there, I feel for you. I feel for you. So we're going to jump right in, guys. But before we do, I got to give you one dad joke. It would not be me if I did not deliver one cheesy, corny dad joke that you can feel free to use again, right? So what did the turkey say to the hunter? What did the turkey say to the hunter? Quack, quack. Come on. Quack, quack. He ain't trying to be dinner. Anyway, so guys, we are about to introduce our guest for this evening. In fact, I got to put my vibe song back on because this guy is all the vibes. He is a founder, CEO, entrepreneur after my own heart. Guys, without further ado, let us give it up. And I want you guys to smash that applause emoji and smash that like button and give this guy, hey, let him go. There you go.
Loving the vibe.
Let's go. Man.
I love it. I'm also good at enforcing rules that people don't follow. I have 2 kids, so
if you are married and if you have children, you have to be very comfortable in laying down the law that's not going to lay down.
Yep.
So that is, we know how it is. Naisha, what's up, girl? Thanks for joining us. We are live with Prem Kumar on the late afternoon show. Prem, thank you so much for taking some time out to hang out with us this evening. I'm sorry you don't have your tea yet. I'm going to be sipping over here.
I got mine on the way. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's the benefit of living close to the distribution. Yep. I was right there. Thank you, Naisha. Thank you. So, Prem, normally I try to do a nice intro and consolidate all the bio information and deliver it, but it is never as good as the person kind of talking about it themselves, right? So I want you, if we hop into an elevator, you're a tech CEO, you're an entrepreneur, you already know about the elevator pitch, all right? So if we were to hop in and you see this cool black dude in this nice blazer and turtleneck, it's like, oh man, this guy might be some money. Let me introduce myself real quick. What would you say? Who are you? What do you do before we get to the second floor? Go.
I would say, through my mask, of course, I would say, I'm on a mission to bring equity and efficiency to hiring. So what Humanly, my company, does is we automate job candidate screening, scheduling, and engagement for companies with high applicant volume.
Man, I'm still looking for the button, my man. You went through that quickly. I love that. And how long have you been doing that, man?
Yeah, so my background's been in HR technology and talent acquisition technology for a while. So I spent about 10 years at Microsoft here in Seattle. Went to a company called Tiny Pulse in the employee engagement space, and we started Humanly about 2 years ago.
Very nice, very nice. And so, there is this kind of well-known saying, especially for startups, that there is folks that make it past a year, right? It's like, oh, okay, we've made it past a year. And then there's like the 2-year mark, and then there's like the 5-year mark. How would you say you guys are on that 1 year, 2 year, kind of climbing on to, let's say 2025? How are you guys on that journey?
Yeah, so Reid Hoffman from LinkedIn has a quote saying a startup is like jumping out of a plane and building your parachute on the way down. So I mean that's every year, every day. But yeah, we're in the seed stage right now. So I think we're seeing some great examples of product market fit, some happy customers. So we're having that, but the number one thing for us is building the right team. We're obviously in the hiring space. I think that's what keeps me up at night. That's what challenges me right now. Are we including the right people, whether that's the actual employees or that's the lawyers we're working with or different vendors? So yeah, that's one thing I think that's been tough for us. Not extremely challenging, but definitely in this environment, it's been a little more challenging.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate that. For folks that are just joining us, we are live with Prem Kumar, founder, CEO of Humanly. Type in the chat. Let us know where you're from. We got somebody from Pittsburgh. We got somebody from Arizona. We got folks in Washington. Thank you, Prem, for being from Washington. Let us know in the chat. I want to see where folks are calling in from today. Type in the chat where you're from. If you're joining us live, give us that thumbs up. If you're joining us on the rebroadcast, you're watching this later because your kids got home, you're just too tired, not trying to watch this thing at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock, and you're watching it next day, that's fine. Give us a heart emoji so we can know where you're at. But we're asking Prem, who he is, what he's doing, and he shared with us a little bit about the tech company, the HR tech company that he's building in Humanly. Hey, Dayton, Ohio in the house. What's up? What's up? So outside of who you are and what you're doing by way of Humanly, if somebody was to ask you personally, what are you famous for? How would you answer that?
Big Seattle sports fan. So I was at the Super Bowl when the Seahawks won it. I've been watching the Mariners all my life. So I think that's an identifying fact. It isn't, and I would say there's few things harder in life than being a Seattle Mariners fan. So that's been a rough road.
Hey, at least you're dedicated, right? So folks will never say that this is a fair weather fan. Nah, he's thick and thin, mostly thick, but we'll get through it. Arizona in the house. Oh, Anne Marie, what's up? We got Denver in the house. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this late afternoon show. So guys, what we're going to do is that we're going to get to know Prem a little bit better before we go into our next line of questioning. So we have some swag. Where is my swag, Tim? Did you forget the swag in the kitchen? I think I might have forgotten the swag in the kitchen. But we got swagnets, okay? Some folks call it magnets. Nah, we got swagnets, all right? So we got Mr. Meaningful Work swagnets. We got the Meaningful Mondays. If anybody tunes in to my Monday show, Meaningful Monday, we got the Meaningful Monday happy face with the calendar to motivate yourself on every Monday. And then if you just like seeing my face, I got my face on a magnet to motivate you. I got so many teeth. So you will see this guy on the Mr. Meaningful Work swagnet. So that is the prize for joining us. Hey, we got Israel in the house. Maurice, what's up? What's up? I'm so glad folks are tuning in. And so what we're going to do is we're going to play two truths and a lie. We're going to play two truths and a lie. So Prem is going to share with us 3 statements. 2 of them are true. 1 of them is false. And you have to guess, whoever is the first person to type in the chat, the one that is the lie will win a statement. And Prem will be the judge. Prem, can you see the comments coming in?
Let me flip over here.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see. I got them here.
See the comments. Good. So I'm going to turn the music up a little bit to give us some vibe over here. And I want you to go ahead and tell us your 3 statements, 2 truths, and a lie. And folks, type it in the chat. Let's go.
All right. So I'm an Eagle Scout. My favorite color is yellow, and I used to be able to dunk in high school.
I love those. Eagle Scout, able to dunk in high school or middle school? Which one was that?
High school.
He was able to dunk in high school, and his favorite color is yellow. Which one of those is a falsehood? Which one is a total lie? Type it in the chat to win some swag. Let's go. And he did that all with a straight face. Every time folks play this game, I try to look like in their eye and see, and are they looking to the left or the right, try to be FBI, type of stuff in there. So let us know. All right. Somebody said favorite color.
Augusta got it.
Oh! That was quick. Oh my goodness. He said, you are not an Eagle Scout, sir. Oh, it is not yellow. Duncan High School. Augusta got it. I'm over here calling her Augusta. That's actually my mom, dude. So I'm over. I gotta say, Mrs. Olara. All right. So you were able to dunk in high school? You were a dunking man?
I couldn't palm a basketball, so only a volleyball. But
okay.
I could jump, but I couldn't.
What type of ball you were able to dunk? And what was the other one? So, and you are an Eagle Scout.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not currently. I earned my Eagle Scout rank at 18, and I
Right.
put it on my LinkedIn profile still.
Oh yeah, yeah, because it's a conversation starter, right? So we can get some camaraderie with folks.
Yeah,
That's good. So thank you so much for the answer. What is your favorite color?
blue.
Blue.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So he's not a yellow man. He is a blue man for sure. So I think we got time for one more. We'll give somebody else a chance. Let's do another set of two truths and a lie. So Prem, give us your three statements and one of them being false.
Okay, let's see here. So my 2-year-old is a better dancer than me. My wife and I met in an elevator, and I was born in Wichita, Kansas.
Wow, my guy. Do you play poker? Because your face is like so straight, like you don't give away anything. So wife met in him and his wife were in an elevator. Born in Wichita, is it Kansas?
Yeah.
Wichita, Kansas, and his 2-year-old is a better dancer than him. Which one is false? Which one is absolutely lies? Let's see those answers coming in. Hey, this is a slow jam. All right. Who? Let's see. Let's get some answers, guys. Which one of the statements is false? His 2-year-old daughter is a better dancer than he is. He was born in Wichita, Kansas, or his wife and him met in an elevator. I am very interested to know which one is false here, right? Because love stories and folks coming together is always an interest. That's one of those topics that come up at Thanksgiving. So your wife met in an elevator is false.
They got it right. I think Sharon was first.
Sharon. Oh, Sharon got it. I was like, oh, by a split second. That is nice. So you did not meet your wife in an elevator.
It came to my mind because we actually got stuck in an elevator when we were dating for about 2 hours, but that's not where we first met. So that is a lot.
Man. And so your wife, your daughter is a better dancer than you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
What kind of music does she like to dance to?
All kinds. I mean, you throw something on TV and she'll dance in circles. She likes all kinds of music.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Sharon, you got it. Sharon joining us on LinkedIn. We will reach out to you to how to get your swag nets. So I'll be reaching out to you. Thank you so much for joining us for the late afternoon show. We are joined by Prem Kumar, the founder and CEO of Humanly, the HR tech firm. So can you just walk us through, so for folks that are not familiar with HR tech, if you can just give us a snapshot of what your company would do for an organization, what does that look like?
Yeah, so we're particularly on the hiring side. So we're targeting helping companies find job candidates for roles that have super high applicant volume. So if you're entry-level sales, entry-level support, you're getting hundreds and hundreds of resumes. So we automate the screening of job candidates, the scheduling of job candidates, and then get them to a human faster for the interview itself. We find that right now recruiters are spending about 72 hours of manual time going through resumes, and yet only averaging about 7 seconds per resume when you're getting that many of them. So there's a lot of inequity, a lot of bias involved in the process. So our goal is to streamline that, particularly for those kind of mid-sized companies that have really high applicant volume.
Yeah. Dude, I like what you talked about as far as focusing on that bias and kind of that super crazy ratio, right? 72 hours spent, but only being able to impact such a small number of those folks that actually come through. As we look at the year that we've had, right, with incredible amounts of job loss and incredibly high volume of folks looking for jobs, what are you seeing by way of some of those groups that have been, that are having a harder time, right? It's already a hard time for everybody. What are you seeing for those groups that may be having an even harder time based on that kind of bias conversation you were talking about?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been a tough year for obviously a lot of reasons. About 40% of recruiters in the Bay Area have been furloughed or laid off, and with unemployment so high, candidate volume is off the charts. So, what's happening is I mentioned, a very difficult, time-consuming process to screen resumes. What happens when volume gets super high is people start using shortcuts. There might be unconscious bias. You're getting, you have hundreds and hundreds of resumes, and so we feel that you should be able to engage with candidates at scale. It's kind of like if I told a salesperson you had 500 leads, you have the tools to engage with 500 of them. But I don't feel that candidates are being treated in the same way when they should be, especially now during COVID. I mean, if you're a B2C company, so I'll take Disney pre-COVID as an example. Most candidates, oftentimes in B2C companies, are also your best customers. So the average person that applies to a Disney job spends 7 or 8 times more per year at Disney parks than an average customer. So treating your candidates well isn't just good for finding the right one for this job, but it's about lining up for the next one, about building brand advocates, about even building a base of future customers. So that's kind of one challenge right now. It's just volumes off the charts, and recruiters and hiring teams don't have the tools to engage at scale.
That is such an interesting observation. I remember when I was younger and looking for work, especially in retail, you'd always see like Target or Macy's, or everyone says, work where you shop. Where it's like, you're already a customer here. You already enjoy the product. You already enjoy the vibe. Now you can contribute to it. Never even started to think that, when there is that huge influx of job applications and things like that, if there's a lack of engagement, you might be hurting your customers as well. So as opposed to just hurting the candidate pool, as far as folks coming on, you also might be tarnishing your brand from a customer perspective, which is very, very, very interesting. So one question I have for you, and we'll take some questions for folks. Guys, in the chat, we're talking with Prem Kumar. He is the CEO and founder of HR tech company Humanly on the late afternoon show here today. If you have questions for Prem, please put them in the chat. We are going to get your questions to Prem so he can answer them for you. Questions about entrepreneurship, tech, questions about hiring and HR, and just anything in general. Put your questions in the chat. We want to be able to get to those. But before we get to that, I want to ask you this. What would you say to folks? So do you have a technical background? Like, are you in coding and all those things, or what was your background and how are you able to get into the tech field?
Yeah, so mainly product management, and then in school a little bit on the technical side.
Yeah. So one thing this is me personally, so I'm being selfish right now. So I spent a lot of my early careers in the Bay Area, and I was working at Hewlett Packard, and my girlfriend and I at the time were, trying to start up something, and I don't have a technical background, but I'm always, I know how to business develop. I know sales. I know marketing. I know all these things. I know how to ideate and, and bring all these things together. But you can only go so far if you don't have the technical skills to do that. So for folks that are interested, that have ideas, right, and are interested in a technology solution to a problem, but they don't have the technology background, what kind of advice would you give to somebody that wants to build something in that respect?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it's becoming much more accessible to start your own technology company. I'm not a great coder. I found a co-founder who is that I'm working with. But so there's a lot of ways you can go on Upwork or go online and find someone to build a prototype or MVP for you. I think start by validating the idea, and it doesn't take a whole lot of coding to validate the idea. Go out and interview people, research people in the field. Once you really know your you're onto something. If it is a technology company you're looking to build, find a co-founder that maybe can fill those gaps, because everyone's bringing something. Everything that makes us different is a competitive advantage, and I think if you find that counterpart to take it to that level. But one advice I'd give is don't be afraid to start just because you can't build it yourself. There are ways you can learn about product market fit, find out if this is really something people want, without actually having the technology already built.
Yeah. So the two things that I got from that, for folks that are checking in with us now or will be checking in with us later, and if you want to build a technology solution to something, but you don't have a technology background, two things I think Prem just shared that are very, very important is, number one, you can validate the idea in a non-technical way, right? So whether it's conversations with folks or finding some, doing some research on how to validate the idea, that is a way to kind of get to a minimum viable product. That's that MVP that he was talking about. So that's one thing, is that there are ways to validate your idea without the actual coding or the tech. The second thing is find a technical co-founder, and that there are resources. You mentioned a couple of them, Upwork, where you can find folks that can match with your marketing talent, your business development, your networking, your sales, your all these different things, and you can link up so you don't have to go about it by yourself. You can actually tap into one of these networks to build that. So I appreciate that. That's some real practical stuff. So really quick, before we round out, I don't know if we got any questions in here. If folks have questions, whether you're on with us live or you're checking in with us on the rebroadcast, you can type your question into the comment section, and Prem will be notified of those and tag him as well. How do folks tag you? Where are you on your different platforms?
Let me check here. Yeah, so sorry, I thought you meant in the chat here. So on LinkedIn, you can find me there. On Twitter, it's at Prem Kumar Tweets. And LinkedIn, I think the shortcut on my LinkedIn is / PREMS Kumar. Yep.
Okay. And you pronounce it different. How do you say it? I've been saying it Prem. How do you, is that less?
Oh, Prem.
Prem. We got to do this whole episode again.
I am a polite Eagle Scout. What can I say?
Prem. Oh, okay. That is. I'll know that for future reference. Man, I know my last name has been butchered so many times. It's Olari or Lowry or O'Leary. Some folks thought before they met me in person, they used to think that I was Irish because of O'Leary, and then they would see me face to face and be like, "Oh, that's not the Irishman that we that we anticipated." But really quick, man, we're about to wrap this up. We really appreciate the time that you spent with us this evening, sharing about how Humanly is addressing a very real need, right? So both sides, both from the company side that are struggling to get the right talent and manage, that talent pipeline, and then from the applicant side, right? Folks really trying to get in, really want to be engaged with these organizations. So it's always good to see good companies doing good, right? Not just catering to one particular subset, but really taking a holistic look at the problem. So we really appreciate you for that, taking your time out of your schedule to chat with us. Before we let you go, is there any kind of last words that you have? Our whole idea around this show and my brand, Mr. Meaningful Work, is trying to figure out what is meaningful work and how can we apply meaningful work concepts to what we do. So let me ask you this. What would be your advice to how folks can discover meaningful work in the work and the activities that they do?
Yeah, it's a great question, and thanks for having me. By the way, it's been a lot of fun. So yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, you have to know your why. So I think my why is my kids. When I knew that I wanted to start a company because I wanted to pursue my passion and make an impact in that way. So one thing I always do is once you kind of have identified what that why is, and you can go into more details as to kind of the definition of it, but I think it keeps you going when you have a hard day, or like the only way you're going to get done is if you keep going, and you got to start and you got to keep going. And I think starting and keeping going is a lot easier when you're constantly reminded of your why.
100%. Finding that why. Those kids will do it to you, man. They look at your face and it was like, man, okay, I'm doing this for you. At first I thought I was doing it for me, but nah, I'm doing this for you. So, man, we're about to wrap up here today, guys. We are super grateful that you joined us tonight. I keep saying night. It's this afternoon. I'm going to keep saying afternoon, even though it looks like nighttime outside. For joining us this afternoon on the late afternoon show. We are going to be back next week with another amazing guest. Shout out to our sponsor for this episode, Big Black Tea. I am already finished. You guys can't see the inside of my cup, but I have been chugging this thing down. It is so smooth. It is, puts me in a place of peace. And they have two. They got Zen and they got Harmony. So go check out Big Black Tea. I think Tim Murdoch put it in the chat at the beginning, so you can scroll up and check that out. All right, we are going to throw this music up and we're going to sign out. Prem, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will see you guys next week on another edition of the Late Afternoon Show Live. This is the jam. Hey. Dude.